So, it's me again. My name is Shauna, and I am week 2. Actually, it's kind of going into week 3 of my organic compost. I skipped last week because, well, I felt that it probably wasn't anything worth recording. So, that's why I wasn't here. And, this is the backyard. Screened in the Gandy area. Not much going on. I haven't seen much breakdown of this. What I'm doing is just kind of, I guess, irrigating along at it. And I added a little water to it, or I should say, my husband added a little water to it. Well, he's not in there. But, yeah, it's not breaking down as quickly as I hope. I'm not sure why. Maybe because it's husk or something? I don't know. Anybody knows? You let me know, because shucks, I have no idea. Like I said, I'm totally doing this from scratch, and I'm going to pause recording. Hold on, be right back.
What's that stuff on?
Okay, so this is from the kitchen. I don't know why. I guess it's got blue fuzz on it.
Hope it's not mold.
It probably is mold.
It's probably not good to put in.
No, you just dump it in. It's supposed to. You gotta mix it in.
If you want to put mold in with this, are you sure?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
So, yeah, we'll see how this goes.
I don't know about that.
Anyway, that's kind of gross.
Contaminated.
It's probably because I haven't turned the stuff over in the kitchen. Ew. And this is what it looks like. It does not smell very smurfy.
We're going to have sneezes tonight.
It has
mold spores.
It looks kind of moldy, but I presume the reason it's moldy, that's Michael, is because I had mushroom in it. Maybe that's why.
Okay.
I don't know. But anyway, I'm mixing this in.
Be sure to add earthworms if you're not squeamish.
Gross. That's not gonna happen.
Earthworms will help enrich the soil.
Hey, it's my video.
It'll make it much more fertile.
Anyway, so I'm mixing this in, and I don't know why it smells minty, because there's no mint in this. That's kind of gross. But hey, what are you gonna do? Again, this is total experimental, and there's some of my husks that were at the very bottom. Gross. So I'm glad you can't smell this, because it smells very earthy. So I think it's probably going to be at least another couple of weeks before we see any changes. Oh, I forgot to say the opening star date, May 12, approximate time 8:15 is Thursday afternoon, and so yeah, Thursday, May 12th, approximately 8:12. I started this a week and a half ago. Technically 2 weeks ago. I just skipped it's happened to skip last Saturday again, because I doubt that there would have been that big of a change since I last worked on this. So I added my compost from the kitchen, and again, I'm using an ordinary container, nothing fancy. I got this from Walgreens. It was on sale. They were like 2 for $10. I just got one. And I just threw some dirt in that I had from my previous plants that are no longer with us. This is the result of a plant that I started using when I was I started my organic compost in the kitchen. I just added the soil, which you can kind of see here. There's still little bits of remnants in it. On occasion, because I spoke with someone years ago who has a nursery, and I said, well, my plants keep dying. And she said, well, just take veggies and stick them in the soil, you know, like cut up garlic or onions or what have you and stick them in the soil, which I started doing. And this is the result of this. This is actually like from a red potato. I forgot I had it in the kitchen and it started growing eyes and parts on it. I know it sounds kind of revolting, but anyway, I ended up sticking in the dirt like a month ago, and this is the result of it. So kind of cool actually, and it was in a much smaller pot, which this weekend I'm going to end up repotting it and probably putting it in one of my bigger pots because I think it's time for it to graduate. I'm babbling, of course. So anywho, this is going to temporarily conclude my organic compost. We will follow up next Friday or Saturday. I don't know, we'll see. But in the meantime, if you have tips on ways that I can make this better, by all means, please share. If you have questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I will see you next week. And oh, by the way, give the compost a try. It's very simple. You don't have to buy anything. I mean, if you have soil from your previous plants that didn't make it, I mean, just take an empty Tupperware and put it in that, and then just cut up your veggies and throw your veggies in. When I was doing it from my Tupperware, which is like probably half this, if you're gonna go half, it was like small, and I just threw some dirt in. I threw the veggies in, like onions and like the husk from the garlic clove, and I just cut it up and I put it in and I kind of mixed it, and then I just kind of kept adding to it until it became like this beast, and this became necessary. Or actually I started putting it in my plants, but I got more of it, and then I just said screw it, I'll do this. But anyway, so it's very easy to do. I caution against, with my previous experience, I caution against like putting holes in it, in your lid or in the side of your container, because the last time I did this, I had worms, and if you're cool with worms, that's fine. But if you're not, it was the freakiest thing I'd ever seen, and I ended up like throwing it out because I got creeped out. Yeah, I know. So anywho, just give it a try if it's your first time. Like I said, just soil, put it in a Tupperware container, cut up your veggies, throw it in, and once you throw it in, just be sure to twist it, mix it up, and just keep adding to it until you feel comfortable upgrading and getting a bigger container. But you do have to be committed to at least getting in it and doing a little irrigation, because you don't want it to, again, you don't want it to clump up. You want it to be mixed so that air can get in this. And also, you want a little bit of air to get in, but again, you don't want to leave it open unless you want to have worms or something end up in there. And it's not a bad thing. Actually, worms are good for this, to help it break down. They're just creepy to me, so I didn't want to go there. You can use newspaper. You can actually use plain newspaper, the black and white, not the colored, and you can mix that up in there as well. I read that somewhere, and you can mix it up in the soil. So anyway, give it a try if you wish. If you have questions, feel free to ask. If I don't know, I'll research it and try to give you a response. In the meantime, happy composting, and bye for now.